Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the final week of our 17th season here at the Summer Gazebo Readings. At the outset, I want to thank all my fellow Kiwanians, especially the crew that's been setting up the sound system every week. We thank them very much. And the crew at the back table, we want to thank them for all of their hard work all summer. So we're going to get started right away. We have 3 readers tonight. We had a late cancellation. But we have the 3 wonderful readers for you tonight. We're going to start off with someone who's read here several times, and a great feature here on the Long Island poetry scene. Ladies and gentlemen, Margarette Wahl. Okay.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you, Tony. Hi, everybody. It's great to be here. Like Tony said, I've read here before. I'd like to thank Kiwanis and the Oceanside Library for this opportunity. So I'm going to start with a poem titled Lead Man. Lead Man. I know a guy, as a kid, sat on a man-made ledge, chewing on lead-based paint. Watching trolleys ride by, he never got sick or developed a disability. I know a man, as a kid, visited his uncle at work in a thermometer factory while he played with live mercury, even took some home. He never got poisoned. I know an individual who, as a teenager, enlisted as a U.S. Marine, served and spent time in Camp Lejeune, and drank its water, and he never got cancer. I know a homeowner who bought his first home and installed his own shingles made of asbestos, and he lived there for over 20 years. I know a fella who joined the New York City Fire Department, the finest, before they wore proper equipment. He never, same firefighter, fell through a staircase in a fire and dropped several stories. He had a few broken bones, but he never burned stat. I know a homeowner who survived Superstorm Sandy. He had 4 feet of water saturate his entire home, his livelihood. He rebuilt it. I know a person who caught COVID-19 and pneumonia that followed. This man survived a mini stroke after that, and he bounced back. Like all the challenges he faced. When I have a cold, an ache, or even an ounce of pain, I'm in no position to complain. Not to this guy. I know I'm lucky. I know the toughest man alive. He's my dad, and yes, I do believe he's made from lead. Honor. My mom had a gun, like in westerns and cop movies, a real 22 caliber, sometimes a 32. My mom, she wasn't scared, came from a tough Bed-Stuy neighborhood. Growing up, my brothers would tease, when mama shoots the gun, everyone runs. The truth is, mom's gun was more privilege than for protection. And those people who ran from her, they were the fastest runners of the world. You see, my mom, she had a gun and she held it well above her head, arms straight in the air at heaven's reach. My mom shot fire for track and field for over 35 years. She met Diane Dixon, Jackie Joyner Kirchie, and Carl Lewis, all at the starting lines and the finish lines. My mom, she had a gun with plaques of citations and rewards. The first United States woman starter at the Olympics, Atlanta, 1996. Today, I'm just standing here proud to say I'm her daughter. This one's titled End Credits. When I saw the letters of your name, I remembered 9th grade health class. Brought you extra pens just to loan you one. You never came prepared. When I saw the letters of your name, I returned back to 1989, where we square danced in gym class. Your decision to moon the video camera landed you in school suspension. Our gym teacher wasn't amused. I was. When I saw the letters of your name, it reminded me of social studies class. You with the cold acting scenes from The Godfather, claiming you were Don Corleone. It made me laugh, and it still does. When I saw the letters of your name in the end credits of Boardwalk Empire, I guess, smiled to have known you way back when. When I saw the letters of your name on Facebook, it announced your passing and arrangements of your funeral. Gasp in disbelief still. I remember your influences on my life, love for mob movies, Italians, Brooklyn. I write to a pen pal in Italy, 30 years, all because of you. Each influence with your memory I cling to like every letter in your name and know there will never be another as unique and meaningful as you, Frankie. Crush, once a noun, is a verb. So I'm going to read from my book, Broken Wings, which is available in the back with my other two books as a bundle. And I'm going to read the title poem, Broken Wings, because this is one of my muses, my cat, Angel. Broken wings. Mend these wings, and I am born again from out of these ashes like a rising phoenix. Jasmine Crow. Wouldn't change Angel for the world, the tiny stature of abnormality to the human eye. Still, I saw her wings of promises, though she couldn't fly. Shattered branches on a tree limb birthed her into a label deformed. She's taller in strength and size, hops on two impoverished extremities, but these impaired paws never slow her down. These floored extensions add to her character. She shows the world that even tiny creatures with defective portions can survive. Those faulty appendages don't stop us and won't. A rescue with fragmented stardust. This unwanted kitten, now a cat forever loved, the true heroine of my poetry. I'm going to read from my other book called Across My Paper Trails. These are pen pals that I've been writing to since I was about 13. I have one that I've been writing to for about 25 years now, and she lives in Australia. And this is Spirit Shoes for Rhonda. Every step I will be with you in spirit. And she lives in Agistan, South Australia. She walks with a dance in her step, black ballet shoes with bleeding red roses. Her friend Bev left in her will, losing a battle, cancer won. The note inside the box, Rhonda, every step I will be with you in spirit. She wears spirit shoes, keeping a friend's memory alive like Samantha's handmade necklaces I own. I still receive compliments each day like Rhonda's new footwear. Never met Rhonda, only letters and correspondence between USA and Australia. We dance together in our steps in life. Our spiritual friends remembered. They remind us how lucky we are for having had such great friends as these. And for my final poem, I'm going to read a fairly new one. And it is not based on a movie. I know that there's a movie out, but this is called Wrong Number Ken. The red flashing light on my old answering machine blinked. I had a message for Barbie doll. An older man's voice said, the stranger's request for a callback, how he misses her with no callback number. Sounding older than Dad, I wonder, is she blonde, having a toy figure? Does she drive a pink Corvette, own a spacious camper, or a 3-story house with an elevator like my cousin's dolls had? The wrong caller travels me back to the 80s, where I dreamed as a kid I had Barbie's hair, her bust figure, and cotton candy colored lifestyle. My Barbie had short hair, with a twin sister with long, because I loved the Parent Trap and wished I had a twin somewhere in the world I would meet at camp and switch places with. I have a more Haley Mills resemblance than Barbie. My Barbies had friends, and they lived in a small house with their anatomically incorrect Ken. Somehow they had kids, a dog, and worked jobs and didn't drive. Now, my answer machine announces to my senior edition of Wrong Color Ken and lets him know his lady of plastic isn't here. This reminder that Barbie dolls just don't live here anymore. Thank you so much.
Margarette Wahl. All right, our next reader has kind of picked up the mantle from Barbara Ryer Myers, and it puts out a very in-depth calendar for us, poetry calendar every month. We thank you very much for the service to the poetry community. He's a good friend of the Gazebo and also the Oceanside Library. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Zaffos.
Okay, thank you very much. It's quite a pleasure and an honor to be reading here at this gazebo. The last reading of the season. Okay, so I'm going to start off since this is August, which is going to have 2 moons, which is called a blue moon. And it's also it's one of the rare blue supermoons, I understand. So in honor of that, this is a poem I wrote about what's called When the August Moon Rises. When the August moon rises and the night here lightens, a breeze may blow from the cooling water. A boat's motor hums in the distance. From another direction, a faraway railroad whistle, and a breeze touches the skin. You wish the moment would last forever. The water endlessly drums on the shore. The sound enters you and connects with a deep longing. You hear yourself sighing as memories caress the soul, as the sea envelops the shore. And the stars stand in the night sky, as distant as the furthest stream. Yet somehow this vastness is as close as the air around you. As you are carried away by a singing sea, all thoughts go poetic and take on a rhythm of the pulse of the sea and the air and the silent psalms of the stars. This is for Pat Brown. I sail a sad river. I sail a sad river, a river of subtle sorrow, found on the far side of joy. On the banks stand a dream tree, sprouting lost thoughts and hopes. A tree that bears fruit with a silent sweetness and a softness beneath the hard skin. I long to taste of that fruit in my mouth, for this is a fruit of sweet forgiveness, the taste reminiscent of the open arms of grace, and the soft beckoning hands of renewal that lead you to a meadow where you can begin again. I'm now going to do a series of haiku. Okay, haiku starting off. The sound of city birds sing amidst an urban rhythm. The sound of city birds sing amidst an urban rhythm as trains hum along. I bought a hat today. It feels good on my head. The salesman was kind. I bought a hat today. It feels good on my head. The salesman was kind. Pink cherry blossoms projecting on the screen of my closed eyes. Pink cherry blossoms projecting on the screen of my closed eyes. Leaves rustle in the wind, birds whistle, trucks moan from an urban highway. Leaves rustle in the wind, birds whistle, trucks moan from an urban highway. And this last one I got an award for. The vibrant green grass grows right through my hardened emotions. The vibrant green grass grows right through my hardened emotions. This poem's let's call it a prequel, okay? It was a big deal when it came on its own, but I guess it got overshadowed a little bit by the sequel. And this was requested by Ann Cohn. Called The Belly Dancer Says Hello. Now, there's a story behind this. Later on, if you ask, I will tell you. Did you know that? By the way, Lloyd, it's a travel. Did you know that the belly dancer says hello? You knew her when you were young and wild and entered cafes, drank strong tea, and read the leaves to glimpse the future. You breathed fragrances of shish kebab and incense, and sensory memories still course through your veins. The belly dancer says hello. She remembers you and the smiles on your face as she played her little tambourine, as her bare, supple hips with soft skin swayed to the tones of the oud. Each moment pulsating to rhythms that you thought you had forgotten, till the belly dancer said hello. Oh, I am just so excited to read this poem. Here, you'll see why. This is called Hello, Old Friend. About a friend I knew 50 years ago in college, and we made contact recently. Hello, old friend. Times have changed. So much older we are. Walking through lives. These are times so trying that will make you so weary. Is it that way for you, old friend? We were two sensitive souls in our youth. We were so vulnerable at times. We would sit on a ledge overlooking a grassy hill. We spoke of ideas and feelings we longed to share. Old friend, memories followed me, and I guess memories followed you. 2 times I visited that campus. 2 times I had to sit on that ledge. Old friend, there have been other ledges and rocks, and I sat on them with kindred and souls. There have been altars of love, platforms of speaking truth, day after day of the holy mundane, and now speaking words of poetry. Yes, even speaking words of poetry from a gazebo in your home, in what was your hometown. Oh, I've had a life, old friend, putting myself out there, shining lights in dark places, caring for my family, being there, saving a life. Old friend, we now can speak from virtual ledges. In this new world, words, thoughts, and feelings can travel so fast. Yes, I still speak from ledges. I still speak from the deep. I speak overlooking new horizons, not knowing where these words may turn up again. It's called Come Here to the River. Come here to the river that you know, the river from high mountains, rushing down to the meadows, splashing rocks with a misty spray. You know the river, you hear the flowing. It is your path, it is your life. Do not fear the jagged rocks. Do not fear the foamy rapids as you are streamed to places not known. Please drink this water with deep, long, deep drinks. You know the taste. You know it's cool and clear. This is the river that holds you in compassion as you surrender to the flow towards riverbanks unseen. This is called American Shadow. Once again, our collective pain is shot through a barrel of a gun. Surplus this ease flashing like lightning through American skies. Gun makers make good money arming the armies of hate and confusion. A fortune made on the need to cover hollow holes of desperation. Shotguns shoot down children with bullets faster than a speeding thought. Guns that can outdraw any kind of self-reflection any day of the week. Guns accessible to militarize the American shadow. I'm going to close off with, with an old favorite. How can I not close off with this? Most of you know it. It's called The Night That Rosie Took You Home. This is the sequel to The Belly Dancer Says Hello. The night Rosie took you home. She had danced that evening, and she saw your eyes glisten. Yes, she saw the twinkle and your forehead wrinkle. She moved her hips and felt your glance, and you felt the tingle on your thighs. The night Rosie took you home. You saw her as a delicate rose, full and florid with a growing beauty. You heard the tones of the oud and the rhythms of the dumbak, and you were taken on a voyage. And you held on tight as you heard your heartbeat and your breath pant. And Rosie took you home that night, and the moon in your eyes would bring a gentle glow to light the dark caverns of the soul. Then Rosie unfurled the dance for you, and you had to look away from the glitter that shined in places unknown to you. And Rosie wanted you naked that night. She wanted every inch. She wanted to know it all. The night that Rosie took you home. You remember that, don't you? I see that smile across your face. You have memories that were buried for a while, and now they rise up like a river spilling over its banks, and the crushing waters flow again, and the sensations pour back again, and you feel again the quaking quiver you felt in the middle of the night that Rosie took you home. Thank you very much.
Jack Zaffos. Okay, so I'm going to pull tonight's 50, 25, 25. The winner is going to get $29, and then I'll pick four more, and those five will go into the grand prize, which is $390, and I'll pull that after our final reader of the night. But tonight's $29 goes to, looks like Joan Iverson. Hey! Okay, now, you don't win anything right now, but maybe in 10 to 15 minutes, Peter Dugan and Pace. Okay, and pull two, Pat Roth, and another one for Pace. So Pace just got two in there. All right, so we're going to bring up our final reader for our 17th season, and I think she's closed out other seasons for us as well. A former Nassau County Poet Laureate and a great friend of Kiwanis, a great friend of the Gazebo and the entire poetry community. So glad to see her. Ladies and gentlemen, Linda Opyr.
Hi, everybody. It's wonderful to be here tonight. And I'm here tonight really because of Tony. And I've been here for a number of years closing out this series. Tonight, I dedicate my reading to him because this spring, I found out that I would need a second open heart surgery in 2 years. And I said to Tony, I don't know if I can come this year. And he said, I'm putting you on the program because you're going to be here. And I'm putting it out there that it's going to happen. And it's happened. So thank you, Tony. Wow. And one of the more recent poems that I wrote, On the Way to the Hospital. On the way to the hospital, copper rags of oak turn their backs on the wind, and small blue-black birds dart from ground to branch. I'll not be still. The traffic light offers green, and morning sun shifts me before the glare of coming day. I'll not be still. Brief gusts of shadow flight, the wizened leaves, the quick wings, and just there, where I'll turn. Thank you. And of course, something to lighten it up a little bit. This poem is called My Relaxed Jeans. Quite frankly, my relaxed jeans have gotten tense over the past few months, and I've had it. Who needs this pressure? I thought they'd fare better with our growing intimacy, but now, just like all the others, they've started to cling. I've been here before, seen things go south. I need my space, not a constant reminder of how much I've changed. You know, I hate these goodbyes, but I'm a big girl now, and this is one relationship I've outgrown. Thank you, thank you. This next poem is a nod to summer passing, and it's called Boy at the Shore. Thin as reeds, a young boy's legs hurry him from the water. He carries an upside-down horseshoe crab. One hand curls around its spike of a tail, the other is flat against its primitive brown shell. The boy calls to the beach chairs he nears. Look, look. Put it back is his answer. Now, young boy, maybe 9 or 10, he has no choice. Turns to the shore, offers his treasure to the tide, squatting there to watch it carried from view. How heavy was it? Was he scared? No one asks. He picks up a stone then and hurls it at the horizon, and then another, until again a voice is tossed his way. Knock it off. Quit throwing rocks. You might hurt someone. And if there had been anyone else near the water, he might have. And a couple poems about school. This first one about one of my early school experiences is called Perspective. With the yellow apple next to the blue jug, next to the red book, you stopped behind me and asked, can you use the eraser without smudging the pencil and tearing the paper? And why is the book so little? How can the apple be taller than the jug? How small I felt when you took my big, round, golden apple and told me to try again to see what's there. I continued, though. This next poem is called After Class, 1974. In the dim gauze of late November sun, the clock tower, snow just beginning to fall. Whoever I was about to be, I was no more or less than this. A young woman walking to the bookstore, lit windows, the glow of titles in lives I'd yet to live. Thick flakes, heavier, glasses wet with clouds, a cold hand reaching for a door. And a couple poems about people. This first one, Expecting Rain. Some people spend their lives expecting rain. Umbrellas under seats, boots at the door, practical coats that weigh practically nothing, always nearby. They read clouds and make much of cows lying flat to the field. I knew someone like this once. And when she died, everyone, I mean everyone, wept up a storm, which she knew might happen. You know, if you have a garden, these are special moments now because you have those last blooms of summer hanging on just a little bit more. And it just seems like such a short time ago you were selecting plants maybe or watching the early spring plants come out. One of my favorites is the lilac. This poem is called Women Who Love Lilacs. Women who love lilacs are never alone come spring. They visit their yards and porches to find their mothers and grandmothers in the scented air, and return inside with cuttings and the tall lavender spill of memories in their small clusters, one upon the other. A woman at a sink with a vase, another fixing blossoms above their nest of leaves, and a third giving a child one flower for her dolls and their tea. Women who love lilacs can admire the lily, can find sunflowers striking, but only the lilac knows where they live, how short the season of a little girl, how strong the wood stem which holds the bloom. Thank you. This next poem is called Bathing My Mother. As she sat on the plastic stool in our tub, elbows resting on her knees, I soaked her bath with the washcloth and then directed the handheld shower head at what bubbles remained on her skin. It's too hot, she said. No, it's not. I moved my hand in front of her under the spray. Look, it's not, but it was. A tear fell. She said nothing. Having seen too much, I turned my eyes to spare her a glimpse of what welled there too. And now, this poem wants a different ending. It wants me to ask her to test the water while it runs on my hand. It wants me to return to her flesh and understand its nakedness once and for all as something both before and after me. It wants anger, forgiveness, redemption. Child, it wants a mother. And just a couple more. This next one is called Morning Baileyborough. I was invited to read at the Baileyborough Poetry Festival in County Cavan, Ireland. And there were two young poets who were there who actually I knew before I got there. And I wrote this poem for them because when they went to the festival, they didn't really feel that they were poets. How can you not be a poet in Ireland? I mean, really. So the bottom line is this poem was kind of to give them some faith in what would unfold, and it did. Morning Baileyborough. Should the day fall gray in the soft arms of the rain, should the palette of road and field slicken past the lonely pointing of their signs, the soft-bodied vigils of their sheep. Should memory's phantom limbs ache for home as night harvests its amber moon, you need not pen nor paper. The poem has written itself, and in its final lines, called to you and turned your collar against the cold. And these last two poems. This next one is a favorite of mine because this one was published in Poetry Ireland Review, and it was chosen by Yvonne Boland to appear in that journal. And when someone whose work you revere chooses something of yours, I don't know that it really ever gets any better than that. But this one is called Where the Eye Wants Coast. Autumn shares its branches with both sun and frost, and I don't know what the day will bring. But I do know that we come ashore both with and against the tide. And that same solemn rain that follows us home says nothing of when or if it will return. Here is where the tale begins. A scrim of fog where the eye wants coast. Someone seeks harbor, someone sets sail. They wave in their passing, their longing, one and the same. Thank you. And this last poem is a new poem, and it's called Autumn Dusk. The calendar turns its final pages to skies of brittle leaves and falling suns. Street lamps take their early vigil. A shadow within the shadows shoulders the wind, quickens. It's a dark ribbon of road home. And I think of promises yet unkept. What we can't imagining. How the air almost will smell like snow, but not just yet. The thick scent stirring, someone cooking, a window still open. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Linda Opyr. Let's hear it for all of our readers tonight. Again, I want to thank all my fellow Kiwanians for all their hard work this year. I want to thank all the women at the back table for all of their wonderful work, especially I have to shout out to my wife, Angela. And now I'm going to call on the Vice President of Kiwanis, Eric Abbey, to come and pick the winner of $390, our grand prize. There we go. Yeah. I'm blind. That would be Munchkin Turk. $390 worth of kibble. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a glorious summer. We thank you so much. Our 17th season. We'll see you back here June 3rd, 2024 for our 18th season of the Summer Gazebo readings. Thank you, everybody.